Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Legal Tips brought to you by Accent Realty. My name is Precious, and today we'll be talking about mortgage in Nigeria, what there is to know. Basically, we'll just be giving an overview of how mortgage transactions work in Nigeria or if they even work. The average individual desires to have a house of their own where they don't have to worry about rent or landlord trouble. But we'll all agree with me that getting or buying a house in Nigeria can be very, very expensive, especially considering the state of the Nigerian economy and the standard of living of the average individual. Now, that's where mortgage comes in. But first, what is mortgage? Mortgage is basically a financial agreement where an individual takes a loan, usually from a bank or a financial institution, to purchase a property, typically a house or a building, and also uses that property as collateral. In other words, when you get a loan to buy a property, if you are not able to finish up paying the loan, the property will be used as collateral. That means that the bank can take the house or take the property away from you. Interest, mortgage interest in Nigeria ranges from 15% to 25% per annum. Well, mortgage is not as impossible as you think it is. In fact, it is not difficult at all. And whether you like it or not, it actually works. Some of the some of the institutions that are responsible for mortgage transactions in Nigeria are the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, which is the primary institution that is responsible for mortgage transactions in Nigeria. We also have the Cooperative Mortgage Bank, we have the National Housing Fund, and of course, financial banks, the likes of Access Bank, GT Bank, and the likes. And I'm sure we all receive messages of them telling us to come and get a loan. But anyway, that's by the way. There are two types of mortgages in Nigeria. We have the legal mortgage, which transfers legal title, legal interest of the property to the person that wants to take the loan, who in this case is referred to as the mortgagee. While there, on the other hand, there's also equitable mortgage, which only transfers beneficial interest. It doesn't transfer the title, the ownership of the property to the mortgagee. There are certain requirements that are expected of individuals that want to purchase or that want to get into a mortgage transaction. First, you have to show your financial capacity and capability. You have to show that you have a stable source of income. You have to show that you have job security. You have to show your monthly income, your monthly expenses. You have to show your debit record, whether you have a debit profile. You might have gotten a loan from any bank anywhere. All those records has to be put forward. They have to know how much you have borrowed and how your debit history is. Basically, you also have to know the value of the property that you want to acquire, so that if you are using that property as a collateral, they know that okay, it is worth the amount that you want to that you are going to be loaned, basically. So once you are able to fulfill all these requirements, rest assured that you will be a house owner. So you can see that it's not as difficult, it's not as impossible as you might have thought it was. The Nigerian mortgage industry has experienced significant growth, helping people, individuals, and families become house owners. That is why it is important as potential house owners to understand how mortgage transactions work in Nigeria. And it is also as important to seek professional advice from professionals like legal practitioners and even real estate agents, because they are the ones that can give the best advice on which property to acquire and which property not to, because whatever property you acquire is expected to become an asset on the long run. So you do not want to invest in something that will end up becoming a liability to you. So that is why seeking legal advice, seeking professional advice is very, very important, so that you also be able to avoid taking unnecessary risks. Thank you once again for joining us on this episode. We hope you've been able to learn one or two about how mortgage transactions work in Nigeria. If you are just coming across us for the first time, please do well to follow us on all social media platforms at Law Accent. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you once again.